Um, I'm having a meeting today with everyone about homelessness in Greensboro. I'm finding that within the community, homelessness is really on the rise. Um, some of the things that causes homelessness for people is poverty, unemployment, lack of affordable housing, poor physical or mental health, drug and alcohol abuse, gambling, family and relationship breaks down, and domestic violence. But one thing that I think that every person can do is play a part in helping the homeless. You know, I believe that once we all come together, I think that we can make a difference. You know, we can look at the homeless and we can kind of judge them and feel as if they have gotten into those shoes on their own. But one thing that I have discovered talking to some people that's homeless, you just a paycheck away from having no place to stay. And when you look at the community here in Greensboro with the homeless, you find many sleeping up under the bridges. You find some of them sleeping in parks. You find some of them sleeping in tents. You find some of them sleeping with their children in cars. You find some that sleeping in the worst conditions of hot and extreme 100 degrees outside to 0 degrees outside when it's cold. If you pass by sometimes on the bridges, you find that people have signs up stating that they just need money for food. And sometimes, occasionally, you will find that parents are standing with their children with signs, and people are stealing because they don't have no food to eat, and they have feeling as if they have to steal to even to feed their children. So, you know, we can look at the epidemic of homelessness in Greensboro and we can define that there needs to be some activities coming from people. You know, we can pass people all day long with money in our pocket, food to eat, but we don't think about how we can contribute to helping someone else that don't have a home. Now, there's a couple of places here in Greensboro that do help the homeless, but a lot of people don't know the resources to go to. They don't know who to talk to be able to help them in the crisis that they are in. And I believe that if you have sympathy, if you have love, if you have empathy for people, you will want to have the heart to help them. So one of the places in Greensboro is Partners Endless Homelessness. And we have the Mary's House. And we have Greensboro Urban Ministry. We have Pathways Center. We have the Service Center. We have Partner Village Apartments. We have Greensboro Housing Coalition. And we have United Way of Greensboro, and we have Salvation Army. That are 10 sources that we have in Greensboro. But we are finding that a lot of people don't have the opportunity to go to these resources. So I know about these resources. So one of the things that I feel that I can get people in this group, because I do know some of you in here, and I know some of you have been wanting to get out and help the homeless. You've been wanting to go out and help the poor. You know, we find that, you know, we can go to the park and cook up some meals and go to the park and feed the homeless. Don't charge them. Just let them know that they're loved. And we can do it by word of mouth, by going into the communities and giving them resources that's available for them. We can pass out flyers in the homeless community, telling them about some of these places that I named that's available for them. Because within some of these, they provide housing, they provide shelter, they provide money, they provide opportunity for them to get their medical medicine supplies, and just a lot of things that they're able to give to people who is homeless. Another thing that I think that would be a good opportunity for us to do, which is a good method also, is get the media and the radio involved. You know, we can, you know, talk to some of the newscasters here in Greensboro and be able to tell them what we are trying to do and how they can be able to display it on the news and on the radio. That if you are somebody who wants to help the homeless, just meet us at a certain time. We'll go out. If we don't have nothing but towels and soap and new clothes and these things, they were really appreciated, to let them know that somebody's thinking about them. We can get churches involved to help them feed the homeless. We can have like maybe every Saturday or every other Sunday get churches to come out, from the morning maybe to the late afternoons and feed them and just give them whatever that they need. And get transport, to be able to take the homeless to go see for jobs and provision for them to get affordable housing. Because within these different agencies that I named out, they contribute a lot to the homeless community. But people in the community that's homeless do not know about them. So I'm just looking for people to get on board with me, to help me to be able to do that. And like I said, I know that there are those in the room today that has that same heart, has that same desire. So we need to get the work done. So, I'm putting up a plan and I'm happy and I'm ready to just get out there with everyone and, participate with me. Because at the end of the day, it could be any of us that can be homeless. And when we think about what we put in our mouth, somebody that's homeless don't have nothing to eat. And we know when we step in our showers, there are those who are dirty. They wish they could just take a shower. So sometimes the things that we take for granted, the homeless wish they had the opportunity to do. So I think this would be the perfect time after this meeting to be able to talk about it beyond here and just get into a perfect plan and just make it work. Because when we think of what God has desired for us to do, we know that He desires us to have love one for another. And you can't say you have love one for another whenever you see someone in need and you don't reach your hands out to help them. So I believe that there's enough people in this room that can contribute clothes, can contribute food, that can just contribute your arms extended around someone, just giving someone a smile and love can go a long way with the homeless. Okay. How does that sound?
Good. You go, cuz. You got